Hey, what's up? So, if you're watching this video currently, then I just feel like I want to make a random thoughts of what I've achieved so far in the last 3 years since I started freelancing. And it's also going to help you get more insight on maybe the next step you should take, or if you're thinking of whether you should get into freelancing and the rest of that, you're going to learn some certain things here that you will be able to know how you're going to implement it in your life, right? So first of all, today is my birthday. So it's May 13th. And at the time I'm recording this, it's 7 a.m. in the morning. Okay. And I just want to record this quickly and get done with it, right? So that I can explain to you. So basically what I'm trying to say is that, okay, so freelancing has changed my life. And for me to just say that freelancing has changed my life might not sound that much until you can see how much it has changed my life. Okay. So when I started freelancing, at the beginning part of 2019, I just dropped out of this thing, university, and I was living in a mud house. That's when I actually started freelancing. And today, if I saw it today, it's 2022, it's my birthday. I remember my 2019 birthday. I was actually crying because I was not seeing any way forward. I know the amount of pain I felt on that day. Like everyone at the day abandoned me because obviously like nobody who are you even going? Nobody is sure of like your future or anything. So nobody really believes in you. And that's fine. That's human nature. But at the same time, it's kind of hard, right? And even though I'm not a people person, I don't even have that much friends. Like once you are like a burden, most people tend to like give you a little bit of space, right? So you don't want any of that. But that's beside the point. So when I started freelancing, it was my only resort. I had to drop out of school after the strike and everything, and no money was forthcoming for my tuition and the rest of that, right? Then I had only my Infinix Hot 5 and the rest of that, right? Today I use a Galaxy S22 Ultra, right? So like I'm just going to show you a lot of things in this video, okay? So that's beside the point. But the point now is that when I first started freelancing, I was confused. I didn't know how to go. And living in a mud house that had no lights, had holes in the walls where cockroaches and rats were coming out. One part of the roof was leaking. My carpet was not even complete, and the rest of that. It just kind of shows you how bad my situation were and how the odds were stacked against me. So enough talk. Just watch this video. This was a video I made because of how high I believed in myself that time. But basically, this is a video I made trying to document the process. But I believe that one day I would at least start making it or I'll make a whole lot of money. And we are thanking God, we are getting there, right? So I'm going to play this video and you just listen to it, okay? All right, cool. So you've watched that video, right? Now you need to understand that when I recorded this video, I had just started freelancing. At first, I was working with Nigerian clients. I was working with 3 Nigerian clients, and they were paying me between 10,000 naira for managing their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'll come up with the post, I'll write the post, I'll post it, I'll reply to messages, and the rest of this stuff, right? This was a whole lot of work I was doing for 10,000 naira. So I was making about 10,000 naira a month. I don't think at the point I recorded the video, after I'd gotten my tech client, so I was probably in like 10K or 20K a month here. Like you can imagine how hard it must have been to actually feed, buy data, or pay for charging, because I actually had to pay for where I charge my my phone, right? And the rest of that. So you can imagine how hard and difficult it must have been for me. But this was it. And in 2019, I still got to move out and move into a better place. Now, what this tells you is that as long as you put in the work, you actually keep your head down, put in the work, have the right knowledge, and the rest of that. There's almost nothing that it's almost impossible, right? In 2019, I coined the phrase, 2019 ended, I coined the phrase, zero limits. I think it was 2020. There are zero limits to what you can achieve when you put in the work. And that stuff has helped me a lot. Like, just if you watch the video, you saw how the house looks like, right? So for sake of this video, I'm going to be interswitching between screens. So at some point, I'm going to have to stop sharing my screen so that you can actually, so I can breeze past some important or sensitive documents I don't want out on the internet, and then share my screen again. Okay, so I want to show you guys something else. All right, so just stick with me. Okay, so all right, so let's see if we can find that, right? Let's see. That should be in photos. Okay, trying to find a photo for it so I can just explain to you guys so you guys understand how bad this was, because it feels sometimes people don't get to understand. They feel like it's by luck, but it was never luck for me. Okay, I can't find the photo. I can only find one. Okay. All right, so since I can't find the photo, I think we're going to do something else, okay? So let me just try one more time. And I'm going to show you guys the kind of life I'm currently living, right? All right, here it is. So quick updates here. Let me just share my screen again so you guys can see that. Right? Okay. So sharing my screen again so you guys can see that. Okay. So screen, I will share my screen and then look at this image, right? This was the mud house. If you look down, if you look over around here, you can see where I plugged the house with paper, with paper mache, because it was leaking out water and rats were also coming from that hole. There were several other holes in this house. So just take a look at this house and you can get what I was going through, right? Yeah, that is just what I wanted to show you. Okay, so I'm going to stop the share now and share immediately again, okay? And now you can already see from my background, maybe my webcam is not that good, but I can see from my background where I'm staying, right? Now this condo I'm staying at costs about close to 200,000 naira per night. Like this suite I'm staying at costs close to 200,000 naira per night. Now, I want you guys to get inspired by this because I don't even know how to put it. Like it's something that really matters to me as someone who had to start from the bottom. It's not even funny at all. So let me just show you guys this video, okay? Okay. All right, so how do I do that, right? So let me share my screen again. So these are places where I just like send videos on Telegram and the rest of that, right? So I'm sharing my screen again, and let's just go back to that, right? So now watch this. This is the current lodge I am at now. Like this is the suit I paid for to just stay at before I go on my trip tomorrow. I'm going to Dubai tomorrow, actually. So just watch this, right? So you can see how nice the place looks. Okay, you be the judge of that. Like you can see it, right? All right, cool stuff, right? Cool, it's cool. So and this was the mud house, and this is where I'm staying at. And like this is the place, right? You can see it right behind me. I've been here for about 3 days now. Okay. And we look over again. And the rest of that, I'm able to live a life that's very comfortable. But you see, all of these things didn't start just one day. I had to actually put in the work and pay for programs, pay for other things to get there. But let's say you are like, okay, you just entirely you are at the bottom, you have zero cash, nothing like that. What can you do? There are two things you can do. Number one, you can try and find stuff on YouTube, try and compile them and just get your way through it, right? It's going to take you a much longer time. It's going to be much more difficult for you, but at least it might just get you some results. It won't get you any magnificent results, to be honest. There's not one person I know who has made up to 1 million naira or who up to 500,000 naira per month who hasn't paid to learn from someone, right? But at least you might get up to 100,000 naira or something like that. Now, when you get that money, what you want to do is you want to reinvest. But that's beside the point. The whole purpose of this video is to show you why you should actually take advantage of this discount. And by the time I'm recording this, like I said, today's May 13th, my birthday, and it's my program, the high page better payment program, is currently on a discount of 25,000 right off 35,000. So if you're watching the later date, sometime around maybe I don't know, it might be at 35,000, it might have increased to back to 45. It might have increased to 45 instead. Sorry about that, right? So I just want to get straight. Now, during that period, early 2019, I was working for these clients. It was hell for me. I had burnouts. After I decided that okay, I'm going to actually start targeting foreign clients. And over time, the first foreign client I got paid me $100 for a product description, 250 product description. I remember acting like it was yesterday. This product description took me close to a week to write, but basically it was like I took my time to do research, but writing it took me about 3 days, right? And let's just say in all, like 3 to 5 days, that's what I took to write and deliver this work to the person. And when I delivered this work to the person, I got my money instantly, $100. It hits my account. Then we were using World Remit and the rest of that. It came in at 36,500. Hits my account. I look and say, 36,500 naira for a few days of work compared to what I was working every month to earn 30,000 naira with 3 Nigerian clients. I was like, oh, this is where I need to be, because this is what I knew about freelancing, that there was high paying, right? And then I continued. I got some extra courses. I started targeting clients, started charging $100. I got to the point I started charging 200, within $100 to $300. And then I took my mentors program, Mr. Mayers. And from there, my income skyrocketed to $1,000, $600, $1,000. I first charged $600 and I went to charging $1,000. It's only once I charged $600 and then I started charging $1,000 upwards. And I've never charged below $1,000 for any gig again since then. So it shows you what is possible when you actually keep your head down and put in the work. Like if me, a Walter, a dropout, average intelligence, I don't even know that much and the rest of that, can actually achieve these kind of things, then why not you? That's the question you should ask yourself. Why not you, right? So there are so many things I want to share with you guys on this call. So just give me a few more minutes. Let me get there, right? So this thing. So that's basically my story. Now, there's something else I want to share with you on this call, right? So you can see this. I could continue showing you the lifestyle photos and the rest of that, like but it doesn't really matter, right? Because at the end of the day, you are going to get to that level, but at least you have to start first. So let's go to something else. Let me just show you how freelancers actually, just in case you are confused what freelancing is or how freelancers actually make their money, okay? So I'm going to share a whiteboard, and I'm going to try and use my touch pen for this, okay? So it should be faster, right? All right, so, all right, cool. So first of all, the first thing you actually want to know is who is a freelancer and how does a freelancer make their money, right? A freelancer is someone who works for multiple companies or businesses instead of working for a sole business, right? So as a freelancer, you're basically kind of like an entrepreneur because you're working for multiple businesses. So instead of you working, let's take Nigerian companies, for example. Instead of you working for Nestle and making only 100,000 a month as a writer or as a graphic designer or as somebody managing their websites or any of those things. If you decide to be a freelancer, you can work for both Nestle. You can decide to work for both Nestle, Milo, Safeguard, all of them, and charge them 100,000 naira per gig, right? So if you work with 5 of those guys, you make 500,000 naira that month, and you see how good it is. But now here's the problem, and here's where most people get it wrong, okay? So the average freelancer, my handwriting is horrible. That's this average freelancer in Nigeria targets Nigerian clients, right? And here's what's wrong with it. We are the poverty capital of the world. So if you are living in the poverty capital of the world and you want to get rich or you want to make money, why are you selling to your fellow poor people? I'm not saying not everybody enjoys for sure, but it's outrageous to tell someone that now that they're going to write a sales page for them or they're going to build their website for them for ₦1 million, right? Outrageous stuff. In Naira, because most is maybe top companies that can afford you and rest of that, but the average business entrepreneur that don't really want to pay that much for a website, right? And that just shows you how poor we are. But now if you take that amount, take it to the foreign audience, that's $2,000. Yeah, that's even 1.5 million naira because I just went to exchange some money for the trip, right? But that's even 1.5 million naira and the rest of that, right? So you're saying that you're saying that if you take it to first world countries, USA, this thing, companies that are doing a whole lot of money, they will happily pay you that money because it's like it's not even that much big of a money. Try to someone who has a business that is generating some amount of income. Maybe the person is saying $10,000 a month for this thing, they know that it's important to them and the rest of that. But that's the difference between being an average freelancer who charges 10K, less than 100K, who makes less than 100K a month. Or even if you haven't targeting foreign clients on platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, and the rest, but you're charging $5, $10, $50, $100 for gigs, that you don't want to do that. You want to target the high-paying clients, people who can actually pay you more money. Because the fastest way to get rich is to target the rich. I promise you, there has never been a time in life, in the whole existence of this hour of humanity, that has been easier to build wealth like today. Like, just take a look at this. Like 3 months ago, I was living in a mud house. Like, I was barely making up to this thing 40, 30K a month, right? And then now, if I make, I don't even like calling figures, but if I make like 2 or 3 million naira in a month, it's a bad month. Can you like just think about it? It's something that not a lot of people have opportunity to. And if you're watching this now, it doesn't even really matter to me if you take action now or you don't take action at all. But just know this, that it's so easy now for you to make money online, and there's no reason for you to be poor. All you have to do is to put in the work. So back to how freelancers make their money, right? So that's the average freelancer. They charge Nigerian clients, and they remain poor. Poor, right? Equals to poor. Now, let's clean this and let's just go to something else, okay? Let me show you how you can actually start earning like me, okay? So the first thing you want to actually do is to have a high income skills. So depending on where you are, you've probably heard about this, right? Or where is that writing thing again? So you first thing you want to do is you want to have a high income skill. High income skill, right? So once you have a high income skill, a high income skill is a skill that you can get paid thousands of dollars for, and also in high demand. Those two factors are super important. You don't want to mix any of them, because number one, if you have a skill that is in high demand but isn't high paid, you can do up to 10 jobs and you're making only $200. That's too much stress. Now, if you have a skill that is high paid but it's not in high demand, let's say you're working and all of a sudden the company has to drop you or something just happens, right? And before you find another job now, it's taking you 2 months, 3 months. You don't want that length in getting jobs. You want something that is easy, so that you're always at the top of your game, you're always at the top of your earning capacity. Okay, and you can always improve from there. After you've gotten that, the next thing you want to do is you want to put, if you don't have a high income skill, don't worry. If you get the high paid freelancer payment program, there are 5 high income skills you can learn there that you can use. You can learn that copywriting, content writing, digital marketing, social media marketing, or UI UX design. These are 5 high income skills handpicked by me that are actually hot cake now. They're going to be hot cake now, going to be hot cake forever. Companies are springing up. They need writers every day. They need content writers. They need copywriters for their sales. They need content writers for their content. They need digital marketers. They need social media marketers. So like businesses are springing up. Thousands of businesses are springing up every day. They're always going to need it. Personally, I even have people I'm hiring myself. So imagine that, right? Now, well, after you get a high income skill, the next step 2, is for you to get really good at that skill. That's the part of it, right? But that's the part of step 1. Get really good at that skill. You don't have to be the best. No, the best doesn't even get paid the most. It's depending on how you charge, but at least get averagely good. That you can deliver results, or you can get your client and say, "Oh, this is really nice. I like it. Thank you for doing this for me." Right? That's the way you even need to be, and you can charge more amounts because that's what you've actually done for people, right? So now the second step is to position yourself on freelance platforms and other social media platforms. Okay, so position yourself on freelance platforms. Oh, my handwriting, oh, voila. Freelance platforms and other social media marketing and social media platforms, right? So this can either be on Upwork, Google.com, Freelancer.com, or any of those ones. Personally, I use Upwork. I made over $17,000 on Upwork within in fact, I made $50,000 within 5 months, and I actually took a halt. And this year alone, I came back like April. It actually like late April or something like that. I came back on Upwork and I made over $2,000 on Upwork, right? So it shows you possibilities. That's the main purpose. It's showing you possibilities and why you should not do when you have this opportunity. So when you think about that, you see that, okay, you can make a lot of money on all these freelance platforms. But freelance platforms, now here is the thing, because not everyone is going to teach you this, okay? If you're a freelancer struggling, this might be why you're struggling. Freelance platforms, like someone posts a job about web design or copywriting, right? And you see it, and over 10 other people see it, right? So now, when you DM those 10, when you DM those 10 people, some people will also, when some people also pitch the client, some people also DM the client, right? To apply for the job. Now, even though you are very good, there's times when you won't get the job. Like, right, in fact, maybe 9 or let's say 8 to 7 out of 10 times you won't get the job. No matter how good you are, at my level, I have to send at least 10 proposals or 8 proposals if I get a job on Upwork. But I'm really good at what I do, but it's just the reality there, right? So I call freelance platforms small points because the amount of freelancers on those platforms are plenty, and people who are giving jobs are also plenty. But since the amount of freelancers are plenty, and people are always like, I want to do it lower. Have you seen the Indians? Have you seen the Pakistanis? They want to do the job for $5. They are crashing the price of this thing. So sometimes you get to meet those clients who want to do it, but some clients are really smart and they know that paying cheap means that they will have to pay twice, thrice, or even listen for it, right? So that's it. But like that's a small point where everybody's struggling for the big food. Compared to when you take it to social media platforms like LinkedIn, especially LinkedIn, there are so many big fishes there, and you can catch any of them you want, right? You can catch what kind of big fish you want, you can charge them because there are companies that are making millions and millions in revenues, the hundreds and thousands. People who are trying to do outreach, people who are trying to do their business, who are trying to just start their small LLC, everything. They need all of these firefighting countries and some more, so video editing and the rest of that, right? And then when you get these guys on LinkedIn, it's quite simple, right? You can charge them anywhere from $500 to $1,000 and the rest of that. Pretty soon I'll be showing you my student results that they've gotten. And it's not even that long. I haven't came outside teaching people or any of this thing. It's just last year, August, after I had a talk with this thing, Honorable Akin Alabi and Ronald Zumura. I don't know if you know them, but they're like really, really huge guys in the marketing and billionaires in Nigeria, right? After I had some conversation with them, I actually got more insight into what I should do. So that's it. That's step two. That's step two. Basically, you get on the freelance platforms. It can even be Facebook and the rest of that. And that's where you are doing outreach. Now, most people focus on freelance platforms. They want to die on Fiverr or any of these things because that's where that's where they feel comfortable, right? They don't want to move out of their comfort zone. They're like, how am I going to find jobs? But that's the thing. If it was easy, everyone would do it, right? If you stay on Fiverr, sure you can get jobs. But it's going to take you so much longer compared to when you go outside freelance platform, put yourself outside the boundaries. And I'm going to be showing you how you can do exactly all of this by yourself. Okay. Now, step 3 is simple. Create a compelling offer. Create a this man writing there. Create a compelling offer. It's also how the screen is positioned, right? So create a compelling offer. Now, this is simple. As a freelancer, when you're going to be targeting social media platforms, you want to have an offer. You don't want to be something like, I'm a graphic designer, I do graphic design, I do flyers, XYZ. What do you want? I can help you do it, right? That's how we get you paid peanuts. Because when you see stuff like that, somebody's going to be pricing you $50, $10, $100 if they're being generous and the rest of that. But now, let's say you're a graphic designer and you understand the effects of what your graphic design does for the person. So you know that if someone uses your designs on this thing, you understand color psychology and on Instagram, then the person is likely to get more engagement on their post, right? So now you put yourself as a brand designer. Sorry about that. So now you put yourself as a brand designer, and what you say is that you're a brand designer that help Instagram vendors arrange their page using psychology tips and color psychology and other tips and hacks to get more engagement for their posts on their posts. More engagement means increased followers and also increase in sales. You see how you position that? Bam, you can charge $500, you can charge $1,000, you can charge $2,000 for that because you've actually created an offer and also created the awareness and put everything. I'll be showing you how to do all of this in the high page writer payment program, and you can do this for yourself. So that's easy. Now, step four. Let's just end this, right? Step 4 is simply get hired and paid. Simple as that, right? And paid. That's step 4. Because once you have step 1, step 2, step 3 in place, all that remains for you is actually step 4 for you to get hired and paid. Okay, so that's basically all of it. Okay, and that's just how it works. That's just like a short insight on how it works. So you've seen my story, you've seen how you can do this. I don't want you to think it's rocket science. Okay, so let me just show you one more thing, and then we'll move on to the ending of this chit chat, right? Because I really love doing this because a lot of people are doubting themselves. They don't think it's possible for them. I'm like, see, I don't even know how to put it, but sure, it's hard work and it will take you some time. But at this modern day, a lot of things are possible. Okay, so now when you want to do outreach, let's say you are DMing this thing, right? You are DMing 300 people a day. If why you get 300 people, it's social media, baby, yeah, a lot of people. Or even if it's just 100 people a day, out of 100 people, let's say 10 reply, right? So 10 reply. Out of 10, you have that offer I told you about, right? Even if you're not a graphic designer, you can create it, and I'll show you how to create it for whatever skill you're using, whether you're copywriter or the rest of that. Now, let's say 10 reply, right? Now, out of these 10, you now proceed to work with 4 people, only 4 that decide to work with you out of 100 people, right? Sometimes the number can be much. It can be up to 300 as you are getting better. It can be up to 500 if you're still that bad. But I mean, as you're getting better, this number here at the top of people you're DMing will actually reduce. So if you are bad, it might be 500, it might be 300. But the main point is that you're going to get people pay you, right? Now, let's say you are charging $500 for each job you're doing. When you work with this thing, 4 people in that month, you get 500 times 4, right? 500 times 4, which equals 2,000 US dollars, right? What have I? Which kind of comma is that one? Sorry about that. Which equals 2,000 US dollars, right? So let me just, which equals 2,000 US dollars. Now let's do a quick math, okay? So $2,000 at current market rate on grade.co is, last I checked, was 585. Yeah, 589, right? 589 times 2,000 dollars. That's 1,178,000 naira, right? Cool money for a month. And you don't have to be a top veteran to make this amount of money. It's just there for you to take, but you have to actually have this high income skill and know how to position yourself and know how to do all of these things. So that's it. So now this is the part where we're going to be rounding up. And you're like, but Walter, you've only shown me how it has worked for you. How has it worked for your students? Well, if you ran a high-paid freelancer premium program before, then sure, you must have seen testimonials, right? So let's go to some more, okay? So I'm going to stop share here, okay? And I'm going to show you just some results from my students, right? And these results matter to me because as it is now, I am now feeling like a proud dad. I am now basically, how do I put this? I am now raising millionaires, right? Oh, I can't find that app. How do I get to it? Okay. So come in. Okay. Yeah, I am now feeling like a proud dad because of the stuff that my students are getting, right? So open over here. Where do we even start from? There's so many here. So, but let's start from this one, right? So I'm just going to share the screen again, and you can see what I'm talking about. Okay. Zoom and their restrictions. Come on, man. All right, share screen. I'll just share my screen. Yeah, I'll just share my screen. Is that my screen I'm sharing? I think, let me be sure. Okay, I'm sharing my screen and there we go, right? All right, so take a look at this, right? This is from one of my students and he sent to me, I was like, I think I posted something on my status and I was like, well, the point here is that they would never have gotten to where they were in every status. I can't really remember the post, but probably I post some stuff on my status from time to time, right? So it goes, this is true about Walter. I started freelancing and even joined your 02K challenge as a graphic designer, but nothing happened even after I applied everything. And took some more teachings and I decided to take some courses at social marketing, which is actually in the high-paid freelancer permanent program. And I applied the same things I taught him. So you can see that. And boom, I got my first $1,000 gig for just working 10 minutes every fucking day. I let YouTube not go and blog this my video, but every day I'm working just 10 minutes. You see? Like it's easy. 589,000 every month, working 10 minutes a day. Like it's not even a 9 to 5, guys. This is just how it is. There are companies that want to pay you a lot of money. I even feel like he undercharged here, and that might be due to his experience. That's just the main thing. That's due to his experience. He actually most likely on the charge there for $1,000, right? I have 3 interviews. I just got another gig with a sports clothing brand worth $6,000, right? To work 6 months. That's $1,000 again at the listed. So you're seeing that this is possible, right? It's not only me that's getting these results. Let's just listen to what one of my students again have to say, okay? So, okay, you can see this thing. Okay, you see? All right, cool. So like you can see he greatly, or let's just finish it, right? All right, so you can see that him is even a new student that just got into the program. I'm not saying you should go and borrow. Me, I don't support people borrowing because not everybody has the work ethic to follow. But like he got it for 35,000 naira, and his first gig was $100 per week. Per week, oh, so $100 is 59,000 naira, right? I mean 58,000 naira. So your first gig for that's that 1 week money has already paid back the initial investment into the program. And at the time I'm recording this video, it's actually at a discount of 25,000 naira just for this my birthday week, right? And after that, it's going to 35,000, going back to another 35,000 naira, whereas it will increase to 45,000 naira or 50,000 naira pretty soon, probably this same month, right? So you can see how he explained everything and why he feels like the price shouldn't be that same amount, right? So he's not the only one. There are so many. There are so many people that have actually gotten gigs with this. Let me even try and look forward to this, right? You can see this is one of my students from last year December who got the program last year December. He has made $5,000 plus with 17 jobs and 5 hours. You can see that. So that's an average of $1,000 per month from the program. So these are the kind of things I actually want you guys to see and understand that it's not impossible for you. These are average people who are actually getting massive results from time to time, right? You can see on that one. This is even regular updates I get like every day, or I get updates from my students, right? Landed the client on Monday this week, potentially long term. Finally have a job success score too. It's 100%. Nice wins, boss. But the client was for $500. Like just like this is something that your first gig most likely will cover up whatever amount you invest in it. Even if you price the 50,000 naira tomorrow, the first gig is going to cover up the amount for it. That's one guarantee, like almost guaranteed. Now you still get to keep this knowledge and still be earning more and more. Okay, think of some people like to think of it like they are losing money, but okay, think of it like this: you invested 5,000 naira, but in the next 1 year you are making approximately next 1 year you made about $10,000. That's even small money. Let's just say $10,000. That's about 5 million naira. Think of it. Think of the reward ratio. That's over times 100 of your return of investments you actually made for the program. So that's basically some of the things I want to show to you. There are so many testimonials I can show you. You can see this one. With the positioning I learned from your course, I learned a web design deal of $30,000 as web developer, and more are coming. Not be me talker. It's them that said it, right? So there are so many video testimonials. I'm sure if whoever is recommending to you has shown you and the rest of that. I just felt like I should do my part to help the decision-making process easier for you, right? Because it's this thing, what do we call it? it's just a matter of you. It's a matter of you, okay, talking with the owner of the program and the creator of the program, right? And also you taking action on your own end. So if you look at this, you can see Tim learning on how it says, man, currently up on an hourly project that we sum up to $2,000 plus, according to what I've calculated. I should have shared this win with you and the group, but I've been so occupied. From having just 10,000 naira in account last year, October, to making $1 million per project. It's him, right? God, I'm so grateful. God bless you always. And the rest of that, guys, I can't touch, there are hundreds of testimonials. You must have seen them and the rest of that. So that decision will be up to you. So if you want to get into the discount, it's going to be ending pretty soon. I suggest to get in now while you can. If you are watching this video at a later date when the price is 35,000 naira or 45,000 naira or 50,000 naira, you are not still going to make a mistake on this, because basically the ROI is massive. I'm also adding new things. Like I don't want to even go through the sales page. You get access to LinkedIn, Upwork, Facebook acquisition methods. You get access to the masterclass I held in January. You get access to the class, the 02K challenge I held in December, that has also produced millionaires, because I have millionaire students I've produced, right? And the program has produced. You get access to the program I'll be holding, any other program I'm holding again this year, for free of charge, all day on your dashboard that you can actually navigate and go through. So many things. You get access to copywriting and the rest of that, where you do. We get on live calls at the end of the day and take some classes, review some distance, and the rest of that, right? So if this sounds like something you want, something you'd like to get into, then click on the link below. Ask whoever recommended it to you to send you a link for you to make the payment. And I will see you inside. In the group chat, you can even get access to my phone number, because it's my main phone number that is there, to ask me questions and the rest of that. So that's just all I wanted to say. And thank you guys. I'll talk to you guys from Dubai. Bye. How will they end this meeting again? Okay. All right.